The Birmingham Blade is the world's first AI-designed, geographically optimized wind turbine.
Tapi sitasinya kurang utuh.
The really exciting part of it is that every minute detail of the geometry of this wind turbine, every twist, every edge, every bend, every angle has been tuned and tweaked by our EvoPhase AI to be as efficient as possible for the specific wind speeds and specific topography of Birmingham, UK, where we're based. So it is tailored to be optimally efficient for the specific city it's going to be operating in. Basically, the only constraint we put on the AI is it's that way up. Every other aspect of its geometry was entirely designed by the artificial intelligence itself. And that's the really powerful thing, because a conventional R&D process simply could not come up with this design. We generated, tested, and refined more than 2,000 different designs in 8 days. And can you imagine the size of the workforce you would need to do that in real life? If we did this using conventional methodologies, it would take years, probably decades, and millions of dollars, and ultimately almost certainly still wouldn't be as good as the design it came up with, because the artificial intelligence, it can think out of the box in a way that a human simply can't. It's not just about brute forcing thousands of designs, it's about intelligently exploring this design space in a way that the human brain simply isn't capable of. And one of the really amazing things about this design, one of the unique things, is you'll notice that there's an empty space in the middle of it. And the reason that's there is because the wind is channeled off the blades into the center of this turbine, where it creates a vortex. And this little localized vortex means you get much more power out of the Birmingham Blade than you do in a normal design, where it's just being dragged or pushed along by the wind. And that is something that's truly unique. And more importantly, it's nothing that any of us as R&D specialists could have come up with ourselves. It's something that the AI could think outside the box and develop for us. So this thing is 10 feet by 10 feet, and it generates 3 megawatt hours per year of energy, which is enough to power the average European home. So it's small enough and light enough to stick on the top of your garage, and it can power your home. So this has the potential to be a real green energy revolution. So we focused on the design of small individual turbines for the simple reason that the people we work with can manufacture them and we can put them on the top of their buildings. But there is absolutely no reason why we couldn't apply our evolutionary AI to also work on the much larger wind turbines with which we're all more familiar. The design of our turbine that's optimized for the specific wind speeds of Edinburgh is as different to the Birmingham Blade as a drill bit is from a feather. The designs are radically different. And the reason for that is the Birmingham Blade is optimized for low wind speeds and typically flat roofed buildings. The Edinburgh Edge, our Edinburgh-based wind turbine, is optimized for high wind speeds and pointy roofs. And it makes sense, therefore, that the designs of these two things are going to be radically different. And it just proves the value of this unique, tailored approach to designing wind turbines, because each of these wind turbines is at least 7 times more effective than just plonking a normal wind turbine in its place. But each one is only at its most effective in its home city.